3rd and 12. They started this series from their 31, 33. Snead right to the open man. Bob Grimm at the 49. He curled in and found the crack. And Snead nailed him. Well, that gets the Giants going again.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much, everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can give this video maybe a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But at least anyway, just thank you just so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Now, like with the two first round picks that the Giants have, where exactly should they kind of go? I got, obviously I have my opinion. Now, obviously, we still got, some games left. Giants got 6 games left, So, even though last week the Giants won and the Bears won, they basically have, I think they were picking like 5 and 7. I mean, it's going to change, obviously. But I think last week, before the games last week, the Giants had like picks 5 and 7. The Bears won and the Giants won. So I think they have like 6 and 8 now. So, I mean, it really didn't hurt their stock too much by both teams winning. Obviously, if they keep winning, which is what you want the Giants to do, obviously. Obviously, the picks are going to get worse and worse. Cardinals are playing the Bears this week, so let's go Cardinals, right? And then, the Giants playing the Dolphins. You don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be playing or not, or Mike Glennon's going to be backup quarterback or not, but we still got 6 games to go. The Giants go, say, 3 and 3. Okay? They'll be, 7 and 10, basically about the same as they were last year. 6 and 10 last year, what it was drafted, I think it was 11. So, I mean, 7 and 10 would probably be right around the same thing. If they went 3 and 3, they're, the final 6 games, which is a possibility. Right now, both their picks are in the top 10. So, anyway, this is a very interesting draft. Because if you just say, take the top 10, drafts in the past, right? You'll have, obviously, maybe have a couple edge rushers, maybe high up there. And then sometimes in drafts in the past, you'll have, my goodness, you might have 3 or 4 quarterbacks that might go. I mean, if people knew Mac Daddy Jones was going to have this much success, although it's with the Patriots, if you took Mac Daddy Jones and put him maybe on another team, maybe he's not having that much success. But, if you saw what Mac Daddy Jones was doing this year with the Patriots, he might be in the top 10 last year, So, sometimes you got, you might have 3 quarterbacks, maybe 4 going in the top 10, plus then you might have a left tackle who's really good and then a couple edge rushers. So, basically, the first round just might be, the first 10 might be, with maybe 1, maybe 2 offensive linemen, maybe 3 or 4 quarterbacks. You might have a couple edge rushers. But, I've seen a lot, the position-wise, in the top 10, 15. It's like, all over. I've seen a couple wide receivers kind of up high. But I've seen a lot of, quarterbacks, sporadically. There's no clear-cut winner. There might be, quarterback-wise, there might be, after... after they have their pro days and all, somebody might kind of shoot up to the top. But as of right now, I've seen quarterback. I've seen the Mac Corral up high. I've seen somebody taking the Giants drafted Malik Willis in the top 10. I've seen, I've seen Sam Howell. Desmond Ritter from Cincinnati. So Pickett, I'm sure him up high. So I've seen a lot of quarterbacks. They're all over the place. But I've seen obviously edge rushers. I've seen Drake Jackson. All of his stock has plummeted a little bit earlier on in the beginning of the season, even before the season started. I've seen the Giants were supposed to pick number 7 or 8 or something. I saw a lot of drafts taking Drake Jackson out of USC, the edge rusher. but his stock's plummeted a little bit. But I mean, I've seen him. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson, who had 3 sacks against Ohio State. Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, I've seen him being mocked #1 to the Lions almost in every draft. George Kalafdis, I hope I'm saying that right, from Purdue, another edge rusher. David Ojabo, the other guy from Michigan. They got the two edge rushers from Michigan are really, really good, but Hutchinson's a little bit better. And Jermaine Johnson. So I've seen a bunch of edge rushers. I've seen a couple of defensive linemen like in the top 10 or 15. Jordan Davis and DeMarvin Leal from Texas A&M, I believe it is. I've seen him and those 2 guys in the top 10 or 15. Then I've seen a couple of linebackers. Nakobe Dean from Georgia. Devin Lloyd, I think he's from Utah. I've seen him in there, but they're supposed to be like sideline to sideline kind of guys. I've seen some cornerbacks, and I even obviously, I'm a Notre Dame guy. Oh, I'm sorry. As you can see, Kyle Hamilton, I've seen him mocked. I mean, a safety in the top 5. Quite a few mock drafts. I mean, you got a safety in the top 5. I mean, he's kind of like the hybrid. I mean, you could put him in the box. I mean, he's got the height, he's got the size. You know, he could cover, play him safety, put him in the box. I mean, he's very versatile. But I mean, you know, I've seen him. He's a safety. But then you get Darryl Stingley Jr., cornerback. Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback. Ahmad Gardner, Khair Elam. He looks pretty good too. Cornerback. So I'm seeing some cornerbacks and safeties in the top 10 or 15. Then you got the offensive linemen: Akeem Ekwonu, Kenyon Green, Evan Neal. I mean, a lot of mock drafts. Evan Neal doesn't get far enough down to the Giants where they can pick him. But I mean, if he did, that would be pretty special. Charles Cross, Tyler Linderbaum, which I hope the Giants wind up taking at center. Yes, I hope they take him. Trevor Penning, him as well. So I mean, so it's kind of like, you know, the first. Actually, like last year, you had a bunch of quarterbacks being like what, the top 4 or 5. You had 3 quarterbacks being taken. Then you had the run on wide receivers, right? I mean, but here, I mean, I'm seeing like, you know, I said quarterbacks. Edge rushers, just a couple defensive linemen. I've seen linebackers, quarterbacks, the one safety. I've seen offensive linemen. You know, I've seen a wide variety of options to be taken in the top, 10, 15 picks or so. Obviously, it's going to change. And you got these quarterbacks now, and you might have one come out of left field who has a good pro day or something, and he shoots up the boards and all that. Somebody does good in the Senior Bowl, and all of a sudden, his stock rises. So obviously it's going to all change quite a bit. But I mean, there's a wide variety out there for the Giants to choose from. But if we just kind of step back a little bit, all right, you look at the Giants' defense. Okay, yeah, do we need improvement? Yes, we do. Do we need some edge rushers? Oh yeah. Could we use somebody? I'm just talking like first-round picks. These are the top 2 first-round picks that we get. Could we use, maybe a good stud defensive lineman to help clog up the middle a little bit more? Oh, yeah, our run defense is rather soft. Could we use a linebacker, goes sideline to sideline like Dean or Lloyd? Oh, yeah. I mean, could you imagine, putting Blake Martinez and then Nakobe Dean next to each other? Now we're talking, baby, huh? Or get any freaking edge rusher to help her out with our pathetic pass rush. Oh, yeah. Logan Ryan, right? He's, we only got him for another couple of years. He's not getting any younger. So, I mean, if, say, Kyle Hamilton, the safety, fell to us, could you imagine having Kyle Hamilton and Xavier McKinney? Oh, my goodness. Just that alone would put us in the top 5 in the league as far as safeties. I mean, then you got Julian Love back there. J.R. Reed has done decently. But then we still have Logan Ryan and Xavier McKinney. You got, and you have Kyle Hamilton. I mean, safeties, man. Right? Or, I said, drafting a cornerback. I mean, right? I mean, could we use a little help on the cornerback? Sure, absolutely. But is saying, we're giving up we're giving up a lot of completions. We got the Salt. It was kind of hanging back with, letting it complete the passes in front. We come and we tackle them. We're not giving up any 50, 60, 70-yard bombs down the field. We're having to march down the field, which is unfortunate when you go against Tom Brady. He's more than willing to do that. He'll just nickel and dime you all the way down the field, and it'll be a touchdown. There's nothing you can do about it. Or how many times have you seen the opposing quarterback just stand back in their backfield like a statue for like an hour and a half, no pass rush, right? So, could we use something on defense as far as one of these, at least one of the 2 first rounders that we have? Oh, yeah. But if you also look at it, all right, we have, everybody's pretty much coming back. Right? We got, except Peppers. All right, Jabrill Peppers. He won't be coming back. Can't afford him. But since he's been out, okay, look how good we're doing, and Jabrill Peppers isn't even on the team. So do we need him? No. Our safeties are doing good. We got Xavier McKinney, we got Julian Love, Logan Ryan, maybe JRE, maybe. Right. All the cornerbacks are coming back. We're going to get Blake Martinez back. Tay Crowder in there. We got Lorenzo Carter. Get the heck out of here. All right. But I'm saying, but in the second round, third round, if we get a GM and that knows how to draft, sure, man. The 1 second rounder and the 2 third rounders, heck yeah, right? Get a defensive lineman maybe, or an edge rusher or something. We got those 3 picks. Yeah, get 3, sure. Hey, I'm all for that. That would definitely help. But if you look at what we've been doing of the past, 5 so games ever since Carolina, the defense hasn't been doing too bad. And it's a theory of relativity. Everything's relative. If you got a good offense, right, the offense is on the field. What's your defense doing? They're on the sideline, sipping some Kool-Aid, watching your offense run the ball. Complete passes, the clock keeps going. When the clock goes, right, and your defense is on the side, how many yards does your defense give up when they're on the sideline? None. How many points, unless there's a pick 6, and then of course it goes against the defense. But for the most part, when your offense is on the field, how many points is your defense giving up while they're on the sideline? None. Stuff's all relative. When your defense comes on the field and gets off the field and your offense goes 1, 2, 3 punt, your defense comes right back on the field. If you actually had an offense that could hold on to the ball, that could run the ball, that could complete some passes and all that, your defense is going to look even that much better. So do we need somebody on defense as an absolute necessity? What I'm saying, and first 2 picks. No. Could we maybe get somebody, I said, the second round, the third round to help out the defense? Oh, yeah, absolutely. What I'm trying to point out here is that, I would love, I don't know if the GM that comes in would have the cojones to go back-to-back offensive linemen, but that's what I would prefer to do. The Giants have had, when I was looking at Pro Football Focus, I was checking out the grades, and there was 11 guys that the Giants had on their offensive line this year so far. The accumulation of these 11 guys, all right, the Giants pass blocking grade is Pro Football Focus, but we don't need to be rocket scientists to figure out that our offensive line has got some problems. All right, there's no argument there. Pro Football Focus, the Giants pass blocking grade, they're number 31 in the whole league. They're 50.1. The one cute little thing here is the number 32 team, pass blocking grade wise, is the Miami Dolphins, who we're playing this week. So that's a plus. But the Giants pass blocking grade, number 31 in the whole league. Freaking pathetic. Their run blocking grade, they're number 25. Their grade is a 60. Right? But still, very, very sad. Now, Andrew Thomas, obviously, he's our left tackle. As long as he's healthy, he's penciled in right there. Just ride him out for the next 10 years. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Yeah, that was a good pick. Good pick. He grades out of 73.4 so far this year. Shane Lemieux, we get him back. Okay, cool. Maybe we can get him in there at possibly left guard, right next to Andrew Thomas. Now, in a small sample size, Shane Lemieux graded out of 69 this year. He played the one game against the Broncos, part of it. Played in 17 snaps. His pass blocking grade, I think there was 12 pass blocks that he had in there. He was pathetic the year before. Small sample size, Shane Lemieux, I get it. 12 pass block is not a big sample size by any stretch of imagination. But he graded out an 81.5. His pass blocking grade. The 5 running plays he had, he was graded out of 63. But he was also doing it on a knee, right, that he played 17 snaps, he just couldn't do it anymore, and he's out for the rest of the season. So imagine if he had 2 healthy knees. He might even be a little bit better. Okay, so just say we got Andrew Thomas and we got Shane Lemieux. We got those 2 guys. Just pencil them in, all right? Then you got Nick Gates. All right, he graded out of 63.9. He played in the 2 games, a little over 2 games, and a little over 1 game actually. He played in 2 for 74 snaps. He graded out of 63.9. But with that injury, is he going to come back? Is he ever going to be able to play again? If he can play, is he going to be anywhere near as good as he was before? I wouldn't count on it. Sadly, I wouldn't count on it. Then we got Matt Parrott. He's graded out of 63.9 so far. He's been in 8 games. He's had 341 snaps. But on a recent article that I read from Rob Sale, he said the reason why Matt Parrott's not in there instead of Nate Solder is because Nate Solder is the better choice. Matt Parrott's not. If Matt Parrott was, Matt Parrott would be in there. He's not. He said that Matt Parrott doesn't have that killer instinct. You got to want to go out there and rip some frickin' body's head off. Matt Parrott don't do that. He said, and say it as it is with Nate Solder's out there. He's trying. You got to give the man credit. But as bad as Nate Solder's been this year, Matt Parrott is even worse. So if you're going to get rid of, hoping we get rid of Nate Solder, make room for somebody else. The person we have to take his place right now is even worse than he is. So with Nate Solder out there right now, we're number 31 pass blocking grade wise. We're number 25 run blocking. So you're going to get rid of him and put somebody in there even worse. Number 31 grade, we can only get one worse. We can only go down to 32. I mean, we can't get much, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to replace Nate Solder with somebody who might be even worse, according to the coaches. If he was that good, Matt Parrott, he'd be in there. But according to Rob Sale, he's not. Now, can he get better? Sure. Will he? Who knows? I mean, this is the second season, and he's still got Nate Solder beating him out. So, who knows? Then we got Billy Price. All right, Billy Price isn't signed for next season. Billy Price is graded out at 57.5. His pass blocking grade is a 50.9. His run blocking is a 61.7. He's been in 10 games. He's been healthy and all, so we've been very, very lucky with him. We had to trade B.J. Hill away to get him, but he's not signed for next year. Now, if he's going to want a few $1 million or so, I'll get to this in a minute, but we may not be able to afford to sign a guy. And I said, but if you can get Linderbaum in there from Iowa, the center, I would much rather have him in there than Billy Price. Or if Nick Gates comes back, Nick Gates might want to go back to center. So so Billy Price may not be able to sign a guy for next year. So there's somebody we bring in might be even worse than him. We don't have money to go out in free agency next year and just start bringing in all kinds of guys. I'll get into that in a minute. I said that we got Nate Solder. He's the next guy. He's 55.7. He graded out at his pass block grade's a 48.4. Then we got Matt Skura. All right, Matt Skura graded out at 54.3 so far this year. His pass block grade's a 41. Right. Then we have Will Hernandez. He's probably not going to be back because we probably can't afford him. He's grading out at 50.7. He's getting worse and worse by every year. He's getting worse and worse. The only nice thing about him, he's been in there almost every snap, I think. All 11 games, almost every snap. Very dependable. So then we got Ben Bredesen. He's signed for next year, but he's grading out at 48.2. Then we got Corey Cunningham. All right. He's not signed for next year, but he's graded out at 42.9. I can't possibly want to re-sign him. His pass blocking grade is at 13.9. I mean, then we got Wes Martin. Unfortunately, Wes Martin is signed for next year. I mean, we can let these guys go, get a little dead cap money. It's nothing humongous. But I mean, he's signed for next year. He's graded out at 29.6. His pass blocking grade is a 7.5. Do you want to re-sign that guy? You want to have him, or you just want to let him go? I mean, so after all of this, what are we going to have left, right? Okay, what are we going to have left? Well, next year we'll have Ben Bredesen signed, who's graded out at 48.2. His pass blocking grade is at 24.7. We'll have Wes Martin, whose pass blocking grade is 7.5. We're going to have Nick Gates, who's coming back from a major injury. We're going to have Matt Parrott, who can't even beat out Nate Solder. We're going to have Shane Lemieux, hopefully left guard. We're going to have Andrew Thomas. But who are we going to have at center? Nick Gates, as I said, is Nick Gates going to be any good? You have no idea. Do you want to gamble on Nick Gates being good again? Do you want to gamble on that? I don't think so. And we may not be able to sign Billy Price. So who are we going to have at center? Who are we going to have at right guard? Well, Hernandez, we're probably not going to be able to sign him. You're gonna put Martin or Bredesen or what? Who's going to be at the tackle? You're going to put Matt Parrott out at the tackle? He can't even beat out Nate Solder. We have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. We're losing guys. You got to replace them. And I said you can't draft a quarterback. What's a quarterback going to do? How are you going to draft? You can't draft a quarterback in the first round without an offensive line. What's he going to do? He's going to look just like Daniel Jones. If you don't upgrade the offensive line, what's the quarterback going to do? I mean, how are you helping the quarterback out when he can't even stand in the pocket for more than like a second or two? What are you going to do, run 3-yard slants the whole? Yeah, it's 3rd down and 13. Let's run a 3-yard slant because we can't have the quarterback stand in the pocket too long. So we're just 3-yard outs, 3-yard slants, screen passes, draw. I mean, when are you going to throw the ball down the field? You can't trade for a quarterback like Russell Wilson this year because you have no cap money for next year. And what are you going to do with him? You're going to put him back in the pocket? We have no offensive lineman. He'll be running for his life. How's he going to help us? They have pretty much no cap room next year. They only have 42 players next year signed. They have to sign another 9 to make it, well, the top 51 of the 53 goes toward the salary cap. So actually they have 42 signed. They have to sign another 11, but the first 9 that they sign actually go toward the salary cap. So the 51 that they're going to have to sign their rookie class too. All right, now their rookie class is going to cost them. If at the top, say the top 15 picks, say they got 2 out of the top 15 picks, just say, that's going to cost them anywhere from like say $7 to about $10 million, depending upon if they got if one pick is number 5 or number 6, say another one might be a 13 or 14. I'm just averaging. It's going to be anywhere from about $7 million to about $10 million to sign those 2 guys. Rounds 2 to 3, they got 3 picks. They're going to cost them about $3.5 million for that. Then you got rounds 4 to 7. That's maybe about another $4 million. So you got about $15 million, and you got to come up with to sign your rookie class. And they basically have no cap money whatsoever. So they're going to have to start jettisoning some guys. Somehow, moving some salary around or something like that, just to be able to sign their rookie class. And they have no money to. As I said, they can't go out in the free agent. It's not like, well, if we don't draft somebody, we'll hit the free agency market. No, you can't. Maybe the following year they can. The salary cap's going to go up. They'll have a little bit of salary room then, yeah, but they can't do it next year. So they're stuck. So it's either they're going to lose Will Hernandez, probably Nate Solder's going to be gone. A couple of maybe Billy Price might be gone. So you're losing your guys. You got pretty much maybe like the worst offensive line in all of football. You're losing your guys. You can't go out in free agency and bring anybody in. Anybody you're pretty much going to bring in is going to be bottom of the barrel kind of guys like Bredesen and Wes Martin and Corey Cunningham, Matt Skura. You're going to be bringing more of these guys in. What's that going to do? make your offensive line just as bad as it is right now. So what you really need to do is, if the next GM has, as I said, some cojones to him, all right, you double up on the offensive line. Now, obviously, if you got a second round grade or maybe a real late first round grade on somebody and you're picking number 6 or 7, obviously, you don't want to go out and make it that much of a stretch. But what you could do, I'm saying, if you can get Linderbaum the center, and then you grab somebody else who can either play guard or tackle, one of those positions, you do it. I mean, hopefully the new GM that comes out, can draft maybe a little bit better than David Gettleman has been. And I said, if they get like a first round grade on a guy, go back to back with the offensive line. Because then if you can maybe get Shane Lemieux, you get Linderbaum, maybe you have Andrew Thomas, and then maybe you grab like a Kenyon Green, or maybe if you're lucky enough and Evan Neal falls to you or something like that, you get maybe like another tackle or a guard, something like that. Then you got like at least 3, maybe 4 pieces of the offensive line. Can you work with somebody else? Maybe a 3rd or 4th round tackle or so. Yeah, but I mean, you have to. You're losing guys. It's like you're taking one step backwards, then you draft somebody, one person in the first round, and then you take one step forward. Where you at? Pretty much back, same place you were before. You might have a good quality center, but if you're losing your right tackle, you're losing your right guard. I mean, you're taking one step back and you're taking one step forward. Where you at? Pretty much the same place you were before. Let's try one time, just one time. You got this opportunity where you got 2 first-round picks. One time, let's take not one step backwards and one step forward. Let's take one step forward and maybe 2 steps forward. And wouldn't it be just nice, just one time, just to actually be able to hear the New York Giants don't need to draft an offensive lineman? Wouldn't that be just so nice? Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!